On Tuesday, October the 28th, Hurricane Mellisa slammed into Jamaica, the Cat 5 hurricane, with wind gusts up to 252 miles an hour, doing untold damage to the island. It has irrevocably changed the Jamaican track and field season for 2026. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please subscribe and continue to go. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least one here in Peter Lloyd World. Also, enjoy the content. Please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, are you ready? Yep. Good to go. Well, first up, let me just say apologies. We have not posted a video for at least 7 days, 7 or 8 days, and the reason should be obvious. We were here on the island where the Cat 5 Mellisa landed and hit us hard. Myself and my family are, however, safe. We survived this onslaught, and we had members of our community. They had to shelter with us during the hurricane because unfortunately they lost their roofs leaked, ours fortunately did not. And then we had to take in a family whose house was completely submerged in water. They lost everything. They lived with us for at least 6 days. Thank God they're okay now. I mean, I don't know if anyone is okay, people. The parts of Jamaica that looks as if someone dropped a nuclear bomb, and we need assistance. If you want to send funds here to the channel, I am not going to say no. We will leave our Cash App link as well as our PayPal link. Please donate to the channel because in this instance we do desperately need it. And if you can donate to the island in general, please do, because things rough. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad that you are listening, and for all the Jamaicans who are, out there, we will improve, we will get better, we are resilient. Please work together. This is not a time for selfishness. So let's get into this Peter Lloyd World video. Jamaica's national champion in the women's 200 meters, Ashanti Moore, who made it all the way to the semi-finals at this year's World Championships and lowered her personal best in both 100 and 200 meters, having a spectacular 2025, turns 25 today, October the 7th. And we just have to say what we always say here at Peter Lloyd World. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
I said in everything, give God the thanks and praise. It's your birthday, baby, it's your birthday, yeah.
Great news. Akira Nugent is now training here at home finally with Glenn Mills, led by the Racers Track Club. This is awesome news. We know that we love her. She's an incredible talent. And to see her home training, it's about time. Big up yourself, Queen Akira Nugent. One of the major news items is the fact that Mellisa Jefferson Wooden, who won 3 gold medals at this year's World Championships, winning the women's 100 meters, 200 meters, as well as the 4x100 meters gold medal, and setting a new world lead as well as new personal best, 4th fastest 100-meter time ever recorded, 10.61. Well, she's been snubbed, most people believe, because she is not a finalist in the Female Athlete of the Year nomination done by World Athletics Championships, which is kind of weird, people, if we're going to be very, very honest. City US Mag wrote, after a 2025 season in which Mellisa Jefferson Wooden swept the sprints at the World Championships by winning the 100 meters, 200 meters, and 4x100 meter relay, and went undefeated in 100 meters all year by posting the 5 fastest times worldwide, topped by her 10-6-1 world lead. She was not nominated as a finalist for the World Athletics Track Athlete of the Year award. 400-meter world champion Sidney McLaughlin Levrone and 400-meter hurdles world championship Femme Cabal were named finalists. Yeah. I can understand Sidney McLaughlin, that made sense, but Femme Cabal, people, that don't make no sense in my humble opinion. As this person shared on X, with all due respect, Femme Cabal being a finalist for Female Track Athlete of the Year over Melissa Jefferson Wooden and Beatrice Chebet is legitimately insane. And personally speaking, I kind of have to agree. That's a very strange one. I'd love for someone to explain how this works. The winner, of course, will be announced on the 30th of November. I want to hear your thoughts because the entire world, track world at least, is talking about the fact that they believe that both this young lady, Chibet, have been snubbed, and why is Femme Cabal there? How did she make it to the finals? Sydney McLaughlin, everyone, as I would expect, is there. And I'm wondering, why is Faith Kipiegon not there either?
Champs, Jefferson Wooden is a tiny powerhouse with a huge heart, and she has delivered a moment everybody in this stadium will savour for a very, very long time. That was...
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
Yeah, people, no shame in my game. If you want to contribute to the channel, I would really appreciate it if you do. We will leave our channel's Cash App, the Cash App in the links, as well as we will leave our PayPal. If you can contribute, because believe me, we will take the donations now, because we have a long road of recovery ahead, ourselves included here at Peter Lloyd World. And if you can donate to the island in general, trust me, people, we need it. Hurricane Mellisa became the most devastating hurricane to hit the island of Jamaica 37 years after Gilbert had devastated us as a Cat4 hurricane. Mellisa, of course, as you may know by now, happened to land here as a Cat5 with sustained winds of up to 85 miles an hour, meaning us here in St. James were hit by 85-mile-an-hour winds. There were wind gusts never reported, as far as I'm aware, of up to 252 miles an hour, which means that we were hit by a legitimate Cat5. In fact, some scientists are even saying they may have to rename this a Cat6. The devastation is unreal. This, of course, happened on Tuesday, October the 28th, 2025. As Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness told the Honourable House, on Tuesday, October the 20th, Jamaica endured one of the most punishing natural disasters in our modern history. Hurricane Mellisa made landfall near New Hope in Westmoreland as a Cat 5 hurricane with sustained winds of 185 miles an hour and a minimum central pressure of 892 millibars. The lower the pressure, people, the more powerful the hurricane. And this is one of the lowest ever recorded in history. That's me saying so, not the Honorable Prime Minister. Madam Speaker, experts Madam Speaker, sorry, experts describe Mellisa as being at the very edge of what is physically possible in the Atlantic Ocean. A storm powered by record sea temperatures and near perfect atmospheric conditions, its force was so immense that seismographs hundreds of miles away registered its passage. Mellisa is the very first Category 5 hurricane to make a direct hit on Jamaica in the recorded history of such hurricanes, surpassing the previous benchmark set by Hurricane Gilbert and recently by Hurricane Beryl. Mellisa crossed the island with catastrophic winds and torrential rain, inflicting widespread damage, most severely across St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, and St. Anne. We mourn lives lost and we stand with thousands of Jamaicans who have lost their homes, their livelihood, their businesses, their farms, etc. Now, people, this is St. Catherine. This is Catherine, all apologies, in St. James. I've been there. The family I told you about that stayed with my family. That's where they were. They up the windows to make it upstairs. I mean, this is just one devastation. It is literally palpable. And as you can see here, all the regions that the Prime Minister described, it's horrendous, absolutely horrendous. So how is this going to impact the 2026 Jamaican track and field season? Jamaica closed out the 25 track and field season with an incredible, one of the best medal hauls we've ever had at the World Championships. We walked away with 1 gold medal, 6 silver medals, and 3 bronze. It was a resurgence, and the men in particular in sprints proved that Jamaican male dominance was back. We walked away with a bronze medal in the men's 200 meters. And our men also, and we're not dismissing the greatness of our women, but the men in particular proved their dominance. But will Mellisa's passing impact both our junior and senior athletes for the 2026 track and field season?
On their set position and sent off Dockery out quickly, and so do Davidson. It's Dockery. Terry Long trails. Dockery leads, carrying the hopes of St. Elizabeth. Here comes Tianelli Terry Long off Hedwin Allen. She rises to the occasion. 11.
So let's talk about the impact on the junior athletes at first. Here is a aerial view of Herbert Morrison Technical High School in Montego Bay after the passing of Beryl. And as you can see, Herbert Morrison has been devastated. In fact, this aerial view honestly does not do it any justice. I mean, I actually walked past several times, drove past several times, and I'm telling you, the devastation is mind-bending. In fact, all the major high schools, including Montego Bay High, Cornwall Boys School, Mount Alvernia, as well as the prep schools and primary schools have all been utterly devastated. The schools in Trelawney, the same. And remember that many of our athletes work out, train, and go to school in these institutions. Now, many of the high schools in Kingston and Portmore have not been as severely damaged. In fact, they were a lot more fortunate. But like I said, many of the athletes, this is not a track and field junior, meaning it's a boys and girls champs. It's not like it was 20 or 30 years ago when most of the high schools in the Kingston region dominated. We have athletes like Dockery. We have athletes like Shania Douglas and others who are from the schools from the western region and the south coast of the island. And if those schools have suffered this kind of damage, then this should impact the junior season. Let's talk about it in more detail. Now, confirmed as one of the most powerful storms on record to hit Jamaica, with wind speeds tying historical records. Damage is estimated at 28 to 32% of Jamaica's GDP, which works out to between 6 to 7 billion USD, United States dollars, or in Jamaican currency, something akin to 2.5 trillion with a T, trillion Jamaican dollars. So the impact of this hurricane in terms of our infrastructure has been incredible, just absolutely phenomenal. The destruction of high schools like Ferncourt High, Nakalva High, the Nakalva Polytechnic, loss of venues and the resulting 30% GDP loss confirms the season cannot proceed normally. Classes are suspended and critical infrastructure, power, water, roads are also compromised. This is the immediate impact of the hurricanes on the high schools, which produce athletes who we expect to compete in the junior season in 2026. And in fact, that junior season would have already started. They would be in training at this point in time. Of course, we'll tie everything together in my 2 cents. Now, official priority, recovery and relief. No direct cancellation or rescheduling statement yet. As of the current date, November the 5th, we prepped this on the 5th, 2025. Neither the Jamaica Athletics Administration Association, the J3As, nor the Ministry of Sport has issued a direct formal statement announcing the cancellation or rescheduling of the major 2026 track events, such as the Issa Grace Kennedy Boys and Girls Championships, currently scheduled for March the 24th to March the 28th, 2026. But logically, if schools have been damaged and cannot proceed initially, how will athletes train? Where will the coaches be? Because it's not just the schools themselves, the fields have been destroyed. I can tell you this for a fact. And if the infrastructure in these communities are down and severely damaged, 2.5 trillion Jamaican dollars or 6 to 7 billion US dollars, how are the students, much less the athletic staff, meaning coaches, etc., going to be able to make it to any venue for them to be able to train? Secondarily, talking about venues, we were already Jamaica's already short on venues for the western part of the island and the southern coast. So almost all our major stuff happens here in Montego Bay at Herbert Morrison, which I just showed you is decimated. So that's not an option. Or happens at GC Foster College. I'm not yet sure of the state of GC Foster College. They may have suffered damage themselves, as well as the National Stadium. Now, the National Stadium seems to be fine, but Herbert Morris is decimated. And as I've said, many athletics events take place there, especially in the western region. That's no longer an option. It's going to take a very long time for them to be able to fix that. Not to mention the fact that the infrastructure in many of the areas are still cut off. It's going to take a long time for them to be able to fix those roads. And students and teachers live all over. Some live in those areas that are completely disconnected up to this point. Now, eventually those areas will be reestablished, but that will take many months. That will impact the capacity for these athletes to train, where they're going to train. Not to mention the fact that we have to address the mental trauma that these young athletes, meaning the junior athletes now, that's what we're talking about, the people who are going to compete at the Issa Boys and Girls Champs, what they went through. Because I went through this hurricane. I went through Gilbert. Gilbert was horrendous. This was much worse. This was really horrific. And I'm an adult. I wasn't an adult in Gilbert. In fact, my personal opinion is that all of us who lived through this, we are probably still in shock and we have not yet dealt with this psychologically. So I can't say that these athletes will be in a state of mind to be able to train. We have no clue. Not to mention the fact that many of these athletes, even if they're okay, we're talking about the junior athletes now, the people who are going to compete at Issa Boys and Girls Champs 2026, their relatives might be hurt. injured. They may be worried about relatives. They may be unable to get in touch with relatives, which is going to impact them immensely. In my opinion, I think the 2026 junior season has already been altered, seriously altered. Now, the government may not have said anything about it at J3S because at this point, we're in the midst of the initial days of recovery. So people are thinking about far more important things than the track and field season. And let's just be honest, people's lives are far more important than the track and field season. But I believe Mellisa has dealt a massive blow to the ISA boys and girls champs. It's going to be very difficult to have a season because of the lack of venues, lack of schools, traumatized young male and female athletes. I think the J3S and the Ministry of Sport will have to change around everything. I mean, if there's any hope, we're looking at recovery speediest in 6 months. We're looking at March of next year. That's when we'd normally be having champs. This is going to be difficult. Now let's take a look at the seniors. I should finally add regarding the junior athletes that at this point, they'll be thinking about survival. They'll be thinking about their education. Some have exams coming up. That will be priority. Training will not be priority. So we have to accept that the junior season of the 2026 track and field season has been altered, without a doubt.
This time they're away. It's a decent start, Bolt Isles, but not a brilliant one. Thompson's in the driving seat here, but watch Seville on the near side. It's ever so close. Seville from Thompson. Lyles at last is beaten. Seville was desperate.
Now, this, of course, is my 2 cents. All the points that I just made regarding the junior track and field season for 2026 applies to the seniors. Yes, Kingston may not have been as impacted as the venues on more on the western side, Trelawney, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, St. Anne. But the athletes themselves have also been traumatized, and many people will be looking towards family members who are spread wide across the island. I'm sure some family members will be in the danger zone. The athletes themselves are mentally traumatized. Trainers, we have no idea what they're going through. And at this point, most people will be in survival mode. Many Jamaican athletes and overseas athletes have started to contribute to the relief funds and relief efforts here on the island. I'm seeing many of them myself. I'm doing that. Many persons are trying to do what we can. But at this point, the island is trying to claw back from devastation, loss of life, anguish, infrastructural damage. I don't think many athletes will be focusing at this point on the upcoming 2026 track and field season. Now, many of them, the senior athletes, especially the pros, they do have obligations contractually to their shoe brands, etc. So at some point in the near future, and many of them had already started to train, as you may or may not know. Athletes tend to take off maybe about a month for the entire year. Generally, the professionals certainly do. So we already established the fact that the juniors, they have far more important things to be doing at this point than training, particularly those impacted immediately by the devastation of Hurricane Mellisa. But I think the seniors are going to be impacted in just the same way. I think at this point, people are thinking about surviving, the safety of their family, friends, and the government will have to be concentrating on infrastructure, etc. Now, the government of Jamaica, as far as I'm aware, do donate a lot annually towards the track and field generally in Jamaica. But having lost 28 to 30% of our GDP, $2.5 trillion, or 6 to 7 billion US dollars, I'm not sure the government will have any money in the kitty to contribute towards these athletes. And you do remember that one of the things that we're talking about is the fact that there are many athletes who are out there having to work to support their meaning there are reports of athletes delivering pizza, etc. And the government had said they were about They've been assisting, but they're going to step up assistance. How will they be able to do that now? How would they be able to do that? We have lost 30% of our GDP. So I believe, I'm not going to say the 2026 season will be cancelled, but it's going to be severely impacted. Athletes, senior and junior, are thinking about survival, family, infrastructural damage, lives may have been lost, may or may not have been lost, properties damaged. This is the mindset of Jamaica presently is to get beyond this point. So in my opinion, Mellisa has dealt a blow to the track and field season in a way that it is incomprehensible, and it's going to take a while for it to unfold. I do believe that the junior season is going to be drastically altered, and I do believe the seniors are also going to be impacted tremendously by this. Will it cancel the 2026 season? I don't think so. I don't hope so. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What were your experiences, Mellisa, with Hurricane Mellisa, if you were here? And please, my brothers and sisters, be generous. Help your fellow man. Help your fellow woman. Help, because at this point we need to come together. And for those who are already assisting, thank you. And like I said, this is one time I'm going to say it honestly. If you want to donate to the channel, we actually need the funds. So I will leave the link in the description below, our Cash App, as well as our PayPal. And honestly, people, I'm just in shock. I'm just grateful that myself and my family walked away from this monster. Now, don't forget to support the channel. If you want to check out our merch at printify.com, I'll leave a link in the description below. Please donate. This time I want to keep saying it, donate. We really need that now. And donate to us here at Peter Lloyd World if you can. Definitely, we will take it, whatever you can give us. And donate in general. And if you don't have money, donate your time. Please, your island needs it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You are Roy, and join us on Facebook at Peter Lloyd World. Join us on Instagram at Peter Lloyd World. You are royals, kings and queens. Bless us.